Welcome back. Today, we are stepping into a very different kind of club. It's not about throwing punches, it's about throwing out ideas, challenging assumptions, and building something better because of it. Welcome to the Good Fight Club. So let's kick things off with a classic from Oscar Wilde. It's witty, it's sharp, and it basically sums up what we're all taught, right? That disagreement is, well, it's just not polite. But what if that idea is holding us back? What if it's completely wrong? We have this story we tell ourselves that great collaborations, the ones that change the world, are all built on perfect harmony. Think about the Wright brothers. We just picture them working in total sync, two minds, one thought. But what if the real secret to their success wasn't agreement, but argument? And that very question gets us right to the heart of our first big idea. It's time to dismantle this myth of harmony. The popular version of the story is that Wilbur and Orville Wright thought together. It's a nice image, isn't it? This seamless partnership, these two minds working as one to invent the future of flight. But here's the twist. The reality? They fought. All the time. I'm not talking about little squabbles. Their arguments could last for weeks, sometimes even months. And here's the kicker. This wasn't some flaw in their process. It was their process. It was central to their genius. And you don't have to take my word for it. Wilbur himself once said, "I like scrapping with Orv." You see? They didn't just put up with conflict. They actually enjoyed it. They knew it was the engine that powered their creativity. So, if arguing was their secret weapon, that means we have to understand that not all conflict is the same. In fact, it's absolutely crucial to know the difference between the two kinds of conflict. Organizational psychologist Eddie Jen broke this down for us. On one hand, you've got relationship conflict. This is the bad stuff. It's personal, it's emotional, it's full of animosity. It's totally destructive. But then there's task conflict, and this is all about the work itself. Debating ideas, questioning opinions, and this kind of conflict, it's not just good for teams, it can be a superpower. And this isn't just a theory, the data backs it up. Studies of teams in Silicon Valley found this really clear pattern. The low-performing groups, they were just bogged down in personal fights. But the high-performing teams, the ones crushing it, they embraced task conflict from day one. They weren't afraid to challenge each other. Which brings us to a huge takeaway here. The absence of conflict on a team isn't a sign that everyone's getting along perfectly. It's a sign of apathy. It means nobody cares enough to speak up, to question things, to push for a better answer. Okay, so we've established that task conflict is good, but how do you actually do it right? That brings us to this incredibly powerful idea of building your challenge network. Let's look at a more modern example. Pixar's masterpiece, The Incredibles. When director Brad Bird came on board, his vision was so ambitious that the technical leadership flat out told him it was impossible. They said it would take 10 years and cost $500 million. So, what did Bird do? Did he hire a team of cheerleaders? No way. He put together a crew of people he called his pirates, the studio's misfits. People who were known for being disagreeable, who were a little disgruntled, and who were totally dissatisfied with doing things the way they'd always been done. And that crew of pirates? That's the perfect example of a challenge network. This isn't your support network. It's not people who just pat you on the back. It's a group of people you trust to see your blind spots and to really challenge your assumptions. Their job is to make you think again. Now, the perfect people for this network are what we call disagreeable givers. They aren't critical just to be mean or to show off how smart they are. They challenge you because they genuinely care about the work and about you, and they want to see it become the best it can possibly be. It's the ultimate form of tough love. So, we know we need to argue, but how do we do it without everything turning into a nasty personal fight? Well, it's time to learn how to fight well. Let's circle back to Wilbur and Orville for a minute. Their single biggest technical problem was the propeller. See, nothing like it existed, so they had to invent it from scratch. And you can bet this problem led to some of their most intense fights. But their mechanic noticed something really important. Through all their arguments, he said, "I don't think they really got mad, but they sure got awfully hot." And that is the whole secret right there. Their fights were full of intellectual heat, not personal hostility. So how do we do that? Well, it pretty much boils down to 3 key steps. First, frame the conversation as a debate. That signals you're actually looking for different viewpoints. Second, and this is a big one, shift from asking why someone believes something to asking how it would work. And finally, remember the goal. Get hot, not mad. Keep it passionate, not personal. That second step, asking how, is so powerful because it exposes something called the illusion of explanatory depth. Basically, when we're forced to explain the mechanics of an idea, we suddenly realize how little we actually know. It makes us more humble and way more open to other people's ideas. And you can see this exact process play out with the Wright's propeller problem. It started with the fight. Each brother totally convinced he was right. That intense pressure forced them to rethink everything, to question their own fundamental assumptions. And that rethinking led directly to the breakthrough discovery. They didn't need one propeller, they needed two, spinning in opposite directions. Which brings us to this beautiful, powerful metaphor for this whole idea. In a great argument, the person on the other side isn't your enemy. They're not a foil trying to stop you, they are a propeller. They provide that essential opposing force that actually moves you forward. It's because of that productive friction that our thinking doesn't get stuck on the ground. Instead, it takes flight.
So I'll leave you with this. The people who push back on your ideas, the ones who disagree with you the most, they might just be the most important people you have. The only question left is, who's in your challenge network?